The reason why I wrote my book is Time to Free Your Dreams, the Journey. It basically talks about my journey of how God moved me and my family from Dallas, Texas to Los Angeles, California. This book is for people that want to break generational curses off their family's life. This book is for people that are called by God to do something that is miraculous, something that is outside of the norms of the 9 to 5 grind. This book is for people that want to make a change in the world. They want to do something different than what their society has told them to do. When God called me and my family to move, it was 3 years ago, and God told me that he wanted us to move. He didn't exactly told us where to move. And I remember I was walking down the hallway at my job, and he gave me a revelation. And I remember details of when I was walking down the hallway and God told me, I want to move you to Los Angeles, California. When I heard that, I was like, man, this can't be, this is too outside of the norm for me, because I've never traveled, 3 hours away. The farthest I ever traveled was to San Antonio, and that was like 4 hours away. And God kept on saying, I am going to provide. So when I got that unction and I told my family about it, just me, my wife, and my kids at the time, and it's crazy. I was like, I don't have the money to even go out there. You have to at least save up like $10,000 just to go out there, because it's expensive in LA. But God said, I'm going to provide. So God wanted us to sell all of our stuff. We sold all of our stuff to the T. And the stuff that we did have, we had clothes, just movies, all of this other stuff. And I thought when I got to Los Angeles, we thought, man, once we take that leap of faith, we're going to have blessing on top of blessings, a big old house, money. We're going to have the connections. People are going to help us with our ministry, with just evangelizing in Los Angeles. But it was actually the opposite. So once we sold all of our stuff and we took that leap of faith, we only had $600 to our name to drive to Los Angeles. It was a leap of faith to even me driving down there, because I never been outside of Texas, let alone to New Mexico, Arizona, and California. That was a big leap of faith. But God said that I'm going to provide. I still remember this. When we got down to our lowest, we had only $200, and we had a whole family to support. We only had $200 to our name. And I'm like, God, what are we going to do? God, I still remember this. He told us to live in our car. So we went through homelessness. My family was homeless in the back of our car. But I guarantee you, when we was going through that, it was very depressing at moments. But you can feel his presence on us, saying that I will provide. Whenever God is leading you and doing something outside of the norm that nobody in society has ever done, it's going to look strange. It's going to look like God didn't say that, because if God called you out there, he is going to provide. Now, here's another thing. We went to different churches, and we thought that most of these churches in LA and Gardena and all of these other places in Riverside was going to help us. Oh, they're going to help us minister the gospel because they know about faith. They know about the goodness of God. And when we told them about our vision, they looked at us like we had something on our face, like it was bad. Like they was like, nah, God didn't call you out here. You need to go back to Texas. That's what God called you. And they was literally doubting if God spoke to us, and there was a demon that spoke to us that led us over here to Los Angeles. Then they said something that was so discouraging, saying, if God called you out here, He would have not have you be homeless. He wouldn't have had you be homeless with your family out here. God would have provided your needs. But whenever God calls you to do something, he is having you to think in a new way. Whenever God is calling you to do something that's outside of the norm, he is taking away all the stuff that you believed and the ways that you think that's right, and he's taking them out, and he's having you think about the kingdom way of doing things. So we had monitoring spirits. We had people that called our family, and our family was like, you need to bring your butt back here to Texas, because I guarantee you, God didn't call you out there. And if he called you out there, why are you going through homelessness? Whenever God speaks to you, it's not a conference call. It's a call for you to hop out on faith. A lot of people are not going to get it. They're going to be Christians. And this is how you really test them. The Bible says test the spirit. This is how you test them, how they really know if they truly know God. Because the ones that really know God, man, they're going to hop on your vision because God has showed them in the spirit what God is going to do in your life. But the ones that doubt it, they say, man, God didn't call you. You can tell the ones that really faking the funk. So I may make a part 2 to this, but guys, get the book. If God is calling you to go out in the deep end, it's going to be your blueprint, because I've been through it, and he wants you to get through it as well.